Let's turn to the other big story that we are tracking, the other murder mystery, and it's the mystery in the murder of scholar MM Kalburgi, the Kannada scholar. While an arrest in the murder case has now been made, a second arrest, we are told, has now been made in connection with the hate messages that were sent against the scholar, particularly on social media and Twitter. We are now told that Prasad Attawar, who recently quit the fringe group Sri Ram Sene, was questioned by the Mangalore police before being taken into custody. This is the second arrest that has been made in this case related to inflammatory posts. The first was that of a Bajrang Dal activist, Bhuvit Shetty, who had also posted a controversial tweet where he had virtually justified the killing of Professor Kalburgi and had warned of more killings that would take place. Shetty was arrested on Monday, later released on bail. But it's raising a big question, the manner in which these hate tweets have emerged. Who will stop these campaigns of hate against scholars is a question that is now being raised, even as a second arrest has now been made in the case of Professor Kalburgi. I'm joined by Soli Sorabji, former Attorney General of the country. I appreciate your joining us, Mr. Sorabji. You've been a great advocate of free speech, but what we are seeing now in Karnataka is hate speech, where people are using Twitter and social media to pour their hate on Professor Kalburgi, and perhaps similar minds are responsible for his killing. How do you stop these campaigns of hate, Mr. Sorabji? What will it take, Mr. Sorabji, to stop these campaigns of hate in your view? How do you stop these campaigns of hate in the country? Mr. Sorabji, can you hear me? We'll try and get back to Mr. Sorabji, because the reports that we are getting now is that there has been, as I said, a second arrest which has been made in this case, again in connection with hate tweets. So that's the report that we are getting in the Kalburgi murder case. Our correspondent Rohini Swami will be telling us more in a moment exactly what has happened and who is the person who's been held responsible. Remember, Professor Kalburgi was killed on Sunday. The sketches of two suspects have since been released. Those are the hate tweets that have led, in a sense, to these arrests which have now been made. At least two arrests have been made, as I said, in the last 48 hours. In both instances, the arrests have made it very clear that the Karnataka police is now looking at possibly the role of right-wing groups. This even as reports are also looking at the potential property disputes. Remember, there has also been a claim that a possible property dispute was behind this killing that took place in the case of Kalburgi. So we are getting reports also of a possible property dispute which was at the heart of this debate. I'm going to try once again to go to Mr. Sorabji. Mr. Sorabji, can you hear me now? Rohini Swami, can you tell me exactly who the arrests have been made today? Can you give me more details of these arrests?
The name of the person who's been arrested in Mangaluru today, his name is Prasad Attawar. Prasad Attawar is a person who is a part of who's made his splinter group from the Sri Ram Sene. He calls it the Ram Sene. And what he has done is he had pasted hate messages against Dr. Kalburgi on his Facebook page. He also retweeted what Bhuvit Shetty, a man who had tweeted as soon as Dr. Kalburgi was shot dead, saying that that he was targeted because of his anti-Hindu writings, and now there'll be other writers who will be also targeted. Now, the point that is being made by the police is that there have been no arrests with the murder of Dr. Kalburgi, but yes, they have arrested two people, that is Bhuvit Shetty and Prasad Attawar, for writing hate messages against Dr. Kalburgi. Now there have been...
Prasad Attawar, we are told, recently quit the Sri Ram Sene and has set up his own group. I just want to understand for viewers beyond the national capital or beyond the metros, what are these groups which are being formed, these right-wing groups that are being formed, particularly in Mangalore, Udupi districts. What effort has been made so far to rein them in? There's a Congress government in Mangaluru, as we know, Has any effort been made, Rohini, to rein these groups in?
Karnataka today and asked him the same question. And what he has been saying is they have been time and again rounding up these people, and if they have found any kind of movement or any kind of such kind of messages or using social media, they have been arrested or they have been warned. With this in particular incident, the Home Minister says that they have not only gone ahead and arrested people, but they have also gone and tried to track down if they belong to any extremist right-wing group. And
I want to stop you, Rohini. We now have Soni Sorabji on the line, former Attorney General. Mr. Sorabji, what can be done to control the groups who are resorting to hate speech, hate tweets? We have now had 2 arrests in the case of Professor Kalburgi. May not be necessarily linked to his murder, but both instances the people have justified the killing of Professor Kalburgi. What is the solution, sir?
It's not merely hate speech, it's murder. It's not only murder of an individual, but it's murdering the most vital principle of our Constitution, freedom of expression and free thought. This must be really curbed with the utmost. These people must be caught and given the most stringent punishment.
But
after all,
I want to know from you, Mr.
express his thought, disagree with him, demonstrate.
Mr. Sorabji, one person who was arrested yesterday has been linked to the Bajrang Dal, and he has subsequently been given bail. He had put out a hate tweet justifying the killing of Professor Kalburgi and warning that more people would be similarly killed. Now he has gone out on bail in 24 hours. Therefore, presumably the punishment in such cases is very minor. You immediately get bail.
Well, to my mind, that was wrong order of bail, but one instance doesn't really meet the point. Question is, as I said, please proceed against them with utmost vigor and impose under the most stringent punishment that can be done under the law. Because this trend must be stopped, Rajiv. I don't understand this. No one can really think about things. Marx said religion is the opium of the people. All right, you may not believe that. You may have a demonstration. You may have a counter platform in which you criticize him. But you don't go and kill a person for expressing his thoughts.
You know, my point to you, Mr. Sorabji, though, is that let's be very clear. We have had the death of 2 scholars in Maharashtra. In both cases, the police say they have not been able to identify the culprits. Now here, even in the Kalburgi case, despite these 2 arrests, we still don't know exactly who is responsible for it. My point is, what does this show? If these are going to be unsolved crimes, it obviously is going to give those responsible for it even more ammunition, is my fear, sir. Is it a justified fear?
You're right. Rajiv, you're right, but give police some time. I'm sure they are not dragging their feet.
I know you're saying they're not.
Besides,
I know you're saying they're not dragging their feet.
Of course, if nothing is done, it'll give ammunition to others.
That's my fear. It will give ammunition to others. S. Prakash, BJP spokesperson, is joining us. Mr. Prakash, Prasad Attewar has quit the Shri Ram Sene, who's been arrested today, and he's now being questioned by the Mangalore police and has been taken into custody. Yesterday, a Bajrang Dal activist, Bhuvit Shetty, posted a controversial tweet 2 days ago justifying the killing of Professor Kalburgi. He's been arrested out on bail. Now, this is someone who is leading your Bajrang Dal group in that Udupi, Mangalore area. Can the BJP in some way distance themselves from these elements who are spreading fear, terror, hate, sir?
Hello.
Yes, Mr. Prakash.
Sir, they were arrested for posting some tweets supporting the death of Mr. Kalburgi.
Yes.
It's a crime committed by unknown assailants. Definitely police will catch these culprits and they must be punished. There should be no room for any hate or any crime in the society. We should all respect all our ideologies. These kind of activities will not take any forward our society.
Sir, those are
comparing
fine words.
this and patching
Those
up
are
this
fine
with
words,
Bajrang
sir.
Dal and other right-wing
No, those are
organizations.
fine words.
I
But why are
feel-
these right-wing groups growing in Karnataka in the manner that they are? These right-wing groups that are growing in Karnataka, whether it is the Shriram Sene, whether it is the Bajrang Dal, they have been spreading hate and terror. Can the BJP, for example, particularly when it comes to the Bajrang Dal, which is linked to the wider Sangh Parivar, completely ostracize such groups? You need to ostracize them.
No. Please do not link these tweets with the murder of Mr. Kalburgi.
I am not.
They are two
it is the
different
mindset.
issues.
I am not saying they have murdered my Professor Kalburgi. It is the mindset which is justifying the murder of Professor Kalburgi that I have a problem with.
No, Mr. Bhuvit Shetty does not belong to Bajrang Dal. I will make it very clear to you. Though I don't speak on their behalf, I have collected the information from the right source. They have disowned him. He does not connect with the Bajrang Dal. Second, the other man who is arrested today is an ex-Sri Ramasena, which we have nothing to do with it. We certainly condemn this attitude. The people who are posting this are unnecessarily creating problems and they themselves devaluing their own ideologies. The murder of Kalburgi is a different thing and posting a tweet is a different issue. Unnecessarily blaming the right-wing organization.
I am not blaming the right-wing. I am saying the mindset.
At some other place.
Mr. Prakash, the mindset of someone who is putting on
case.
Twitter justifying the killing. All I am saying is that the mindset of
Any
such
justification
people.
by the killing, he has been arrested. He deserves punishment, whatever is provided in the law. Nobody has questioned that.
Okay.
Definitely not.
Can I then come to you, Mr. Sorabji, on one aspect of this, because you have raised the issue of free speech. Now, the critics of Professor Kalburgi are saying he was deliberately provocative. He, for example, once spoke about the need to urinate on idols because he disliked the practice of idol worship. And many said, if you speak in such language, then it will provoke people. How do you respond to those who say that you cannot, if you make controversial statements that are provocative, then you must in some way be prepared to pay a price?
Yes, there is a distinction, Rajiv. Criticism of a religion or religious practice is permissible under our constitution and the Supreme Court judgments. But if there is a deliberate and malicious intention to offend religious feelings of religion, there's a section 295A. Take recourse to it. Prosecute him. Answer is not kill him. That's the whole point. You can't take the law in your own hands and say we don't like his ideas, his beliefs. Maybe you don't like them, but the remedy is not to kill them. If he has deliberately insulted the religious feelings of a people, the law is there, 295A. It's a very stringent penal provision. Why not take recourse to this? Otherwise, it would mean that any person who thinks that Mr. A's thinking is opposed to his thinking and is insulting to him, he has the right to take the law in his own hands to the extent of killing him. What are we doing? We're killing free thought.
Can I just bring you in?
I find this most upsetting, most perturbing.
It's most upsetting, most perturbing. For a moment, I just want to bring you in, Mr. Prakash. Can I be guaranteed that anyone who resorts to the kind of tweets that Mr. Shetty resorted to, Bhuvit Shetty, you say he's not with the Bajrang Dal, he's been disowned, will all such elements be disowned in the future? We have seen even when Professor Anantamurthy made certain comments, he was also targeted both on Twitter and in protest. Am I to understand that anyone who resorts to hate tweets, your party in Karnataka will target them and disown them?
Never in the past we have supported them, and in the future also we will not support such elements.
Okay, you will not support such movement. That is an assurance.
Party.
No, condemn them.
See, ours is a national political party. We are ruling the nation. We can't own such elements and support them.
You will condemn
never
them?
in the past you have done it.
You outrightly condemn them?
Been said about us.
You outrightly condemn such people who resort to such tweets, hate tweets?
Certainly. I will definitely condemn such elements.
Okay. I'm going to take your word on it.
You can't take pleasure out of a person's death.
Good.
It's not fair. He's a scholar. Never in the past in Karnataka such an incident had taken place.
I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave it there. It's a shocker that is, and as I said, for us here, the death of Kalburgi, the murder mystery of Kalburgi should be treated with the same importance that prime time TV seems to give to the Sheena murder mystery. I appreciate Mr. Prakash and Soli Sorabji joining me there at the top of News Today.